Okay, let's just jump right in. If you're looking after an aging parent or loved one, you know those moments. The confusion, the anxiety, it can feel so overwhelming, right? For both of you. But what if I told you there's a simple, structured way to kind of redesign their world to bring back a sense of calm and confidence? Well, today we're going to break down a really powerful framework that does exactly that. It really all starts with a story like this one about a woman named Mrs. T. And this moment, it's just so relatable, isn't it? The panic, the fear, that tearful phone call. This isn't just about forgetting to lock a door. It's about that feeling of safety and control just starting to slip away. It's the absolute core of the problem that so many families are facing every single day. And here is the most crucial part, so listen close. These moments, they are not a failure of willpower. It's not a memory problem, not really. It's a signal. A big, flashing sign that the environment around them isn't giving them the support they need. And honestly, that's fantastic news. It really is. Because think about it. We can't magically fix a person's memory, but we can absolutely fix their environment. This is a solvable problem. So, here's the game plan. We'll start with the big picture, this framework for calm. Then we'll dive into each of the three simple steps: the cue, the task, and the confidence. We'll see how they all work together to turn panic into peace. And then we'll wrap up by completely reframing your role in all of this. Okay, so the solution we're going to be talking about is a framework called Applied Behavior Analysis, or ABA. Now, I know that sounds super clinical and maybe a little intimidating, but at its heart, it's just a really compassionate and logical way to build supportive routines that slash anxiety and boost independence. So, what is it really? For our purposes, ABA is all about using three main tools: really clear cues, structured routines, and a whole lot of positive reinforcement. See, the goal isn't to change the person, not at all. It's to change the system around them so they can feel successful on their own terms. And here it is, the core of the whole thing. It's as simple as ABC. Antecedent, that's the cue. Behavior, that's the task itself. And consequence, that's what builds the confidence. Go ahead and burn those three letters into your brain because they are the building blocks for literally everything we're about to cover. All right, let's get into it. Step one is A for antecedent, or as we're going to call it, the cue. This is all about setting the stage for success before anything even happens. So the antecedent, it's just the trigger, the thing that happens right before behavior. Think of a green light at an intersection. It's a clear, simple cue to go. When our loved ones' internal cues, like their memory, start to get fuzzy, well, their world becomes like an intersection with no traffic lights. It's chaos. And that's exactly where all that anxiety comes from. So the goal here is just so powerful. We want to stop asking the brain to do all the heavy lifting. Instead, we're going to make the environment do the remembering for them. We are going to create external, visible signals that are practically impossible to miss. Let's go back to Mrs. T. Her fear was all about that unlocked door. So the solution isn't just getting a smart lock, it's getting one with a huge, bright green light. That light is everything. It becomes the new cue. It completely wipes out that nagging, anxious voice in her head asking, "Did I lock it?" and replaces it with the calm certainty of, "I see the green light." It's undeniable proof. Okay, so we've got our cue. Let's move on to B for behavior. Let's see how we build on that clear signal. What about the task itself? The behavior is just the action we want to see happen, right? Like getting dressed or taking meds. But for someone dealing with cognitive fog, a routine with, say, 5 steps can feel like trying to climb Mount Everest. If they miss just one step, the whole thing can fall apart. And that just leads to frustration, and sometimes, they just give up. So our goal here is to become a master of making things simple. We take that overwhelming mountain and we turn it into a series of small, gentle hills. We're going to break down those complicated routines into tiny, bite-sized, achievable steps that follow a nice, clear, logical order. So, how do we actually do this? Well, something as simple as a laminated checklist with pictures can turn a confusing morning into a predictable, even fun game. And check out this fascinating technique mentioned here: backward chaining. This means you might start by having them do only the very last step, like smelling that fresh cup of coffee, and you build backwards from that amazing reward. It's brilliant. And that brings us to the final and maybe most important piece of the puzzle: C for consequence. This is how we make sure all these positive new habits actually stick. The consequence is simply what happens right after the behavior is done. It's basically the brain's own little feedback system. A positive consequence tells the brain, hey, that felt good, let's do that again. A negative one, or even a neutral one, just gets a meh, why bother? So our job is to engineer a positive consequence. And the key word here is immediate. We want to connect the action directly with a feeling of success and accomplishment. This isn't about giving out cookies as a reward. It's about building genuine self-efficacy, that incredible, hey, I can do this feeling. And just look at how simple and powerful this can be. Mrs. T locks the door, she sees the green light, and her caregiver doesn't just say, good job. They say, that was smooth. You're all set. You get to relax now. That little phrase connects the action directly to the feeling she's been desperate for all along, peace. The calm itself becomes the reward. All right, let's put it all together now. A, B, and C. Let's see the incredible transformation that happens when this entire system is up and running. Before, Mrs. T was completely stuck in this vicious loop of doubt. Her anxiety would rise, which led her to double-check the door, which only made her more afraid. But with this framework, she gets to enter a loop of success. A clear cue, that green light, leads to a calm action. That action results in a positive consequence, quiet confidence. This new loop just completely kicks the old one to the curb. And this is maybe the most important takeaway for every single caregiver listening right now. Your job is not to be a warden. It's not to nag or to be a constant reminder. Your new role, your true role, is to be an environmental architect. You are thoughtfully, compassionately designing a world where your loved one can thrive. So, let's make this real for you right now. Think about one part of your loved one's day that always causes stress. Where is the weakest link in that ABC chain? Is the initial cue just not clear enough? Is the task itself way too complex? Or is there no positive feedback at the end? Just identifying that one weak link, that is your very first step as an architect. You know, in the end, this is about so much more than just checklists and smart locks. It's about reframing our entire approach to aging and cognitive change. By focusing on creating supportive, compassionate environments, we can restore that sense of calm, we can rebuild confidence, and we can truly change the experience of getting older, one small successful behavior at a time.